So my first exposure to you was Black and Sexy TV. And I guess I was a very huge fan of what it was and what it is. And, I guess it started on YouTube, right? It started from the movie, A Day to Be Black and Sexy.
A Good Day
A
to Be
Good
Black.
Day to Be Black and Sexy.
Yeah. Mhm.
And what's your connection to that movie and how did Black and Sexy TV come about?
Well, gosh, we will have to kick it all the way back to MySpace. I don't even know. You two look like young tenderloins. I don't know.
You and I are pretty close in age. I'm 37. I'm 37 years old. So we're pretty close.
We're in the same generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So on MySpace is kind of where I first started just expressing myself online as an artist.
Okay.
I had a page and I had all this I would do photo shoots every week or every other week, and I'd post the photos on there. I had a blog. I would change my page every week. It would be like a different song. I had it was great for me and all of the things, all of the creative spaces that I really love to occupy, because you could put all of that on a MySpace page. I really think they need to bring MySpace back.
I know, it was pretty cool.
But how I ended up being connected with A Good Day to Be Black and Sexy is Dennis, the director of the film. Also, he was on MySpace too and had run across my page and slid in my DMs.
Inbox back in the day is what they called
it.
The
MySpace inbox was, the early DMs. So he said, "I love your photography. I just finished shooting this film called A Good Day to Be Black and Sexy. I would, just love to talk to you about doing some photography for the film and some branding stuff." He recognized from my page that I have a knack at the branding and a certain sensibility that aligned with his. So we met up and ended up being together. We have a child together.
Oh,
now.
wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's my baby daddy. And all started on MySpace, but he was in the editing phase of the movie. So I would come sit during the edits and just offer support or feedback or whatever. And when the film went to Sundance, there was a lot of buzz around the film and kind of a cult following developed around this film, because it really was the first or one of the first indie Black films that really touched on sexuality in an unapologetic way. I really do believe that it set the tone for a lot of the films that came after that, even for just using the word Black in the title.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was already so boundary pushing. And so I loved this. And I ended up shooting the movie poster for the film.
Oh, wow.
That's
the
amazing.
distributors' posters that they came up with. I did the photography for it. And then Black and Sexy TV came out of that because the fans wanted more content. So more content between myself, Dennis, his cinematographer, and another filmmaker, Janine Daniels. The four of us came together to start creating more content from the same characters, but then we started creating skits and sketches about unrelated characters to the film. And then we started posting those on YouTube, and that naturally evolved into, we should start doing series. Doing these little one-off sketches isn't enough. We should do something episodic. So then we wrote our first series and we just kept going from there. But it all started on YouTube. We built that up until we remained on YouTube, but also started our own pay streamer. So we were, I think, again, one of the first.
The first that I knew of.
One of the first indie streamers out there, definitely the first for a Black audience, us, for the culture. And so I wrote and produced, I starred in one of the series, and we just kept going. We just kept going and kept going and kept going. And that was really a great training ground for me, but also just what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
to keep creating content and keep trying different things that otherwise, if we were trying to shop those things on our own, they may have never seen the light of day. Or that would have been such a long process to get it made that by the time it gets out, it's dated. And I think, you see that a lot in films now. So all of that was really the background to me feeling confident to make my first feature film, Jezebel.
Gotcha.
And it was really the two of us having a similar sensibility and a similar care for our culture, that we want to be seen as beautiful and sexy and normal as we are, normalize our culture. So that is the path that I've been on and, continue to be on as I start directing more feature films.
Gotcha. So let's not get past Black and Sexy TV. It is and was one of probably the most innovative thing that I'd ever really experienced. And, I consume a lot of media. To see a group of people that had their own audience, that was interacting with people. I loved your vlog post that you would have with Dennis, where you just catch us up on the production process and when you were coming out with stuff. And we got to talk about something. You and Dennis are scouts for some amazing talent.
Yes.
Let's name some people. Dante, name some people.
No.
We got a list.
Will Callett, which is ironic because he ended up being in Charm City Kings, and we're both from Baltimore, so that was a connection there. Ashley Blaine Featherson, you worked with her at one point. Obviously, Issa made a cameo, and I believe in The Couple. She was there at one point.
In the early days.
Some shout outs to Lena Waithe in that series as well.
Hello, Cupid.
Courtney Burrell, who was in Sexless and Chef Julian. I see him in a bunch of commercials and TV shows.
Black and Sexy alum.
Melvin Gregg, Instagram star, super popular dude, Sexless.
Yes.
Stephen Barrington, who is actually winds up being in your feature, who is in Hello Cupid 3.0. Kalila Joy. I see her in a ton of stuff.
Contender, okay.
Yeah, and let's talk about Batwoman.
Let's talk about Javicia.
Amazing.
But these are all people that you picked. It's not like this. So if this were a one-off thing, and there were a couple people, but this is like a stable of Black, incredibly talented people. So tell me the process of finding the talent for this show, for the series.
So I'm going to say this. I definitely think Black and Sexy should get their dues, and me, Numa Perrier, for handpicking some people should get her dues. But all of these stars were already stars and just needed a platform to start, exercising their muscle more, but also to be seen and start gaining their own followers and start gaining the attention of other casting directors and other writer directors and producers to bring them into all of the huge things that they're doing now. And to, the ones that weren't writing were inspired and started to write. The ones who were writing, we were producing their writing. So there was a lot of, of that fresh, early talent. But they already had the goods. It was just a matter of like, we had the platform, they had the goods, and we were naturally going to be drawn to each other. But I remember, like with Javicia, she had auditioned for Sexless and was not cast at first, but I always remembered her. I had her in the back of my head. And she was close to being cast in Sexless. And then when the spinoff Chef Julian came along, there was the perfect part for her. I still have the message from 2014 on Facebook. I hit her up and I said, hey, you auditioned for Sexless. I remembered you. I remember you. There's another role. Are you interested? Like, she didn't even need to audition. I'm like, I want you to come do this. Are you interested? And she was down. So she came and she did that and went on to do her thing. But again, already a star, already on her way. But I remember like hand picking her and saying, we gotta make a place for her. And yeah, everyone came through either spotting them on other videos, or they would come in for casting. And I think it's just a matter of our energy meeting their energy. Like they were there, hungry, talented, gorgeous, you know, and we had the roles for them, you know, and I think that's the biggest thing. We should definitely get our props, but I believe that all of them were already on their way.
Those shows need to get on OWN or something. Like they're so good. There's still some that I watch to this day. That guy being one of them. It's
my favorite.
The gift that keeps on giving. There's a lot of little jokes in that show that just, it's just a really well-made show.
Yeah, and then I even missed the name, Deshaun Terry. So he's on the morning show, which I love.
Sean, yes, I love the morning show too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Just so many good series, so many good people.
So naturally, like the cream of the crop, were gonna come through Black and Sexy TV because there was no other platform, and we were looking for the best talent, and those were the best talent that needed that platform. And so it's incredible.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel, like seeing all these people having like this level of success years after you guys kind of like put projects together and, you know, work with these people and just see them on these major platforms at this point?
Well, I feel excited. I feel like, yes, that is correct. That's how it should go. There's also a part of me that feels like, gosh, I wish that could still be like within Black ownership.
Yes.
You know, because I know for a fact that everything that we did at Black and Sexy caught the attention of you know, the major networks who are not Black owned, even the ones that, you know, try to appear as if they're not, that our series caught their attention, and they kind of came in like how a big company does when another little company is, you know, they try to come in and just like take, you know. And so of course actors, they're stars and they should be on the biggest platform that they can get. So they should go and do that. But if there's any like bittersweetness to it for me, it's that a platform like Black and Sexy TV does not have the capital that the other networks do and the reach that other networks do to keep the stars there, you know, and to make that go as big as it can go. So that was there's always like a you know, even me as a director, you know, it's like, yeah, I want to go make these like bigger budget films and I want to do this thing, but it's like, you also want to have that ownership and be able to have the full circle of it, not just you're being plucked to go make money for this other big company that doesn't fully represent us. So I still have conflict about that, but the excitement outweighs it. But I do think about that. I do think about that a lot.